Assalamu alaikum, my dear. Now the next topic that we are going to discuss today it is ultrastructure of tobacco mosaic virus, which is termed as TMV. And before going to the structure of TMV, first of all, let us give some introduction about the viruses. There, you should remember that the term virus was first given by Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur coined the term virus for causative agents of infectious diseases. In fact, the credit for the discovery of viruses that goes to Ivanovsky. My dear, you should remember that Ivanovsky, he was a Russian scientist who was doing the research on disease that is tobacco mosaic disease in tobacco plants, and Ivanovsky was trying to find the agents that cause the diseases, and Ivanovsky definitely diagnosed that the disease tobacco mosaic disease it is caused by microbes, but those microbes he found to be so small that they were able to pass through bacterial proof filters. तो आइवानोस्की ने क्या किया, मतलब simply he brought the leaves of tobacco plant. He was trying to find those microbes which cause tobacco mosaic disease, and that was very surprising for the first time that when he passed the filtrate through bacterial proof filters, so no bacteria were retained in the bacterial proof filter, and Ivanovsky proposed that the disease tobacco mosaic disease it is caused by some microbes, but the microbes are so small that they are able to pass through bacterial proof filters, and later on those microbe like structures were found to be the TMVs. So that's why Ivanovsky is given the credit for the discovery of viruses. Dear students, you should remember that if you will be asked who discovered the viruses, the credit goes to Ivanovsky. And the first virus discovered so the first virus discovered was TMV. इसका स्ट्रक्चर हमें पढ़ना है टोबैको मोज़ेक वायरस। तो इसके बाद क्या है कि अगर हम वायरस देखेंगे, व्हाट डज द टर्म वायरस मीन, इट लिटरली मीन्स पॉइजनस फ्लूइड. Virus is the Latin word that means poisonous fluid. However, a virus is a nucleoprotein particle, it is not the fluid. Why the term was coined for this, like this virus? Because in fact it was found, it was being diagnosed that the disease tobacco mosaic disease it is caused by some infectious living fluid. That infectious living fluid is poisonous, and that is why Louis Pasteur coined the term virus for it. And you have to remember another point, there is a scientist, his name is Bijering. He was a Dutch bacteriologist. He induced the concept of, he used the term, induced the concept of, that's very popular, called contagium vivum fluidum. Vivum fluidum. So contagium vivum fluidum is the term that was given by Bijering for the viruses. And what does it mean? It means the living poisonous fluid or the living infectious fluid. तो कभी ये पूछा जाता है contagium vivum fluidum. The term was given by Bichari for the viruses. Although viruses are the particles, a virus is not a fluid. And finally, it was Wendell Stanley in 1935 first isolated and crystallized the virus. Which virus? That is TMV, and showed. तो इसने सबसे पहले क्या दिखाया कि तो the first virus discovered is TMV. It was first isolated by Stanley in 1935 from the leaves of tobacco plant, such a tobacco plant that suffer from the disease tobacco mosaic disease, and it was Stanley for the first time who proved that a virus is not a fluid. A virus is a nucleoprotein particle. जो एक वायरस होता है, इट्स नॉट ए फ्लूइड, इट इज अ पार्टिकल कॉल्ड ए न्यूक्लियोप्रोटीन पार्टिकल, or you can say in short NPP, nucleoprotein particle. He for the first time showed that basically a virus is such a particle that is ultra microscopic, composed of nucleic acid and protein. And for that purpose, it was Stanley who was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1900. So Stanley was given Nobel Prize for the discovery that he first isolated TMV and showed that it is a nucleoprotein particle. He rejected the concept that virus is a poisonous fluid. So he showed that viruses are the biological entities which lack cellular organization. जैसे कि आपने already पढ़ा, viruses are acellular in nature. The viruses don't possess cellular organization, they have macromolecular organization. What does macromolecular organization means? Macromolecular organization means that viruses are composed of, a virus is basically an association of two macromolecules. One is DNA or RNA and another is protein. जैसे कि आपको पता है, a virus is composed of basically two types of macromolecules. One is nucleic acid, that can be DNA, RNA, and another is protein. That's why we say viruses have macromolecular organization. Now we will come to the point. तो अब पहले आप ये याद रखिए, the virus was first discovered by Ivanovsky. The term virus was coined by Louis Pasteur. Another point, Bijeric introduced the concept of contagium vivum fluidum for the viruses, that means the living infectious fluid. And the first virus discovered is TMV, and its structure was first revealed by Stanley in 1935. He for the first time isolated it and showed that it is a nucleoprotein particle, for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1946. Now the structure of TMV. So my dear students, if you will see TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, TMV is basically a rod-shaped virus, a cylindrical virus, or you can say cigarette-shaped virus that is 300 nanometers in length and 18 nanometers in diameter, or you can say 3000 angstroms in length or 180 angstroms in diameter. So we will write here structurally TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, is cylindrical rod shaped, or you can say cigarette shaped, rod shaped virus measuring, तो इसके डायमेंशन जो होते हैं अबाउट 300 नैनोमीटर्स, और यू कैन से 3000 एंगस्ट्रॉन्स। जैसे कि आपको पता है कि 1 nanometer is equal to 10 angstroms. So 300 nanometers are 3000 angstroms in length, and 18 nanometers या आप कहोगे 180 एंगस्ट्रॉन्स इन लेंथ। तो अब टीएमवी क्या है? रॉड शेप्ड वायरस, सिगरेट शेप्ड वायरस है ये, डायमेंशनली 300 nanometers in length, 18 nanometers in diameter. So it is composed of, जैसे कि आपको पता है TMV is also the virus, it is a plant virus, so it is composed of nucleic acid and protein। जैसे कि आपको पता है it is a nucleoprotein particle composed of nucleic acid and protein। तो यहाँ पे आप याद रखिए कि द न्यूक्लिक एसिड इन टीएमवी जो होता है डेट इज आरएनए, द न्यूक्लिक एसिड प्रोटीन रेशियो, द न्यूक्लिक एसिड प्रोटीन रेशियो in TMV is, this is very important to remember, what is the ratio of nucleic acid and protein in TMV? That is 5.6 is to 94.4। ये आप समझ लीजिए, मतलब the proportion of nucleic acid is 5.6 and the proportion of protein is that is 94.4। This is the nucleic acid protein ratio in TMV। तो TMV has now the complex structure that you will see in detail like this। तो यहाँ पे आप याद रखिए द प्रोटीन, ये जो प्रोटीन होता है टीएमवी में, द प्रोटीन फॉर्म्स द एक्सटर्नल शीथ। तो टीएमवी में जो प्रोटीन है इट फॉर्म्स द एक्सटर्नल शीथ, एक्सटर्नल कवरिंग ऑफ टीएमवी, एक्सटर्नल शीथ ऑफ टीएमवी and is called capsid। जैसे कि आपको पता है द वायरस आर एक्सटर्नली बाउंडेड बाय प्रोटीनेशियस कवरिंग दैट इज कॉल्ड कैप्सिड। तो टीएमवी में जो ये कैप्सिड होता है, दिस कैप्सिड इज द प्रोटीनेशियस कवरिंग एंड दिस कैप्सिड इज मेड अप ऑफ कैप्सोमर्स दैट आर क्लोजली पैक्ड एंड हेलिकली coiled। द capsomers are helically coiled in TMV to form a long cylindrical structure enclosing the central hole। मतलब अगर TMV का स्ट्रक्चर हम TS में देखेंगे, ट्रांसवर्स सेक्शन में, the capsid forms the outer covering and that consists of helically coiled capsomers enclosing the central hole that is called axial hole। In that central hole there is present single stranded RNA, that is the nucleic acid। तो यहाँ पे आप याद रखिए the capsid in TMV, ये जो capsid है is made up of about, ये आप याद रखिए 2130 identical subunits। Capsid is the protein covering, it is composed of 2130 identical subunits called capsomers। तो ये आप याद रखेंगे. इन द कैप्सिड ऑफ TMV देयर आर 2130 capsomers and each capsomer. What are capsomers? These are the subunits of capsid, and each capsomer is composed of a long chain of, this is very important to remember as it has been asked once in NEET. ये जो मैं बोलने जा रहा हूँ ये नीट में पूछा गया था ये पॉइंट. Each capsomer is composed of a long chain of 16 types of 158 amino acids. मतलब ये कि एक कैप्सोमर में होते हैं. A capsomer is composed of a long chain of amino acids. How many amino acids are present in one capsomer? 158 amino acids of how many types? 16 types. With molecular weight, एक कैप्सोमर का मॉलिक्यूलर वेट जो होता है 18,000. ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट द कैप्सिड. तो ये जो कैप्सिड होता है कैसे होता है ये कैप्सिड इन TMV? तो यहाँ पे आप याद रखिए these capsomers are arranged, they are closely packed. यहाँ पे आप ऐसे देख सकते हैं. तो यहाँ पे आप देखिए ये जो यहाँ पे है दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ TMV अल्ट्रा स्ट्रक्चर. तो यहाँ पे देखिए these are the capsomers. These capsomers are closely packed and helically coiled. They are helically coiled and they enclose the space with 4 nanometers in diameter. That space is called as axial hole. तो उसी axial hole में होता है present single stranded RNA. That single stranded RNA is also helically coiled inside the axial hole. तो these are the capsomers. तो हम यहाँ पे लिख सकते हैं the capsomers are closely packed and helically coiled. जैसे कि DNA में जो पॉलीन्यूक्लियोटाइड चेन्स होते हैं हेलिकली coiled, ये भी होता है हेलिकली coiled, but very much closely packed, very much closely it is coiled. So helically coiled in the form of a regular helix, in the form of a regular helix enclosing. तो सेंट्रल पोर्शन में क्या enclose होता है? There is enclosed the space that is enclosing a whole central hole with of 4 nanometers diameter. मतलब कि ये कि जो सेंट्रल यहाँ पे जो ये हेलिक्स जब बनता है तो इट एनक्लोजेस the space, the axial hole, that is central hole. The diameter of that central hole is only 4 nanometers. Overall diameter is 18 nanometers, but the diameter of central hole, in that central hole there is found single stranded RNA. The diameter of that central hole is only 4 nanometers. Okay, तो यहाँ पे आप याद रखिए कि ये जो एक्शियल होल होता है, इनसाइड द एक्शियल होल देयर इज फाउंड द सिंगल स्ट्रैंडेड आरएनए। तो याद आप रखिए द जेनेटिक मटेरियल इन टीएमवी इज आरएनए। टीएमवी इज ए प्लांट वायरस। आमतौर पर जो प्लांट वायरसेस होते हैं इनमें जेनेटिक मटेरियल होता है न्यूक्लिक एसिड आरएनए, एंड इन टीएमवी द आरएनए विच इज फाउंड इट इज सिंगल स्ट्रैंडेड आरएनए, and this RNA is composed of, first you should remember it is composed of nucleotides. And how many nucleotides are present in RNA? In the RNA there are found 7,300 nucleotides that are linked by phosphodiester bonds, and it has been found the single stranded RNA that is found in TMV, it is present in the axial hole, central hole, and the RNA is 11 times longer than the length of the virus itself. So this single stranded lengthy RNA is found packed inside the axial hole, inside the central hole, in the form of spirally coiled helix. Okay, but still some length of RNA is found protruded on one side of the virus, that is only few microns. And you have to remember that the virus, when it attacks the host, it only infects its single stranded RNA into the cell, whereas the capsid that remains outside. And that single stranded RNA, when it enters into the host cell, it contains all the coded information that is necessary for the formation of the new capsid. Okay, so we will write here like this: the nucleic acid present in TMV is single stranded RNA that is 11 times longer than the virus or the viron. जैसे कि आपको पता है TMV is the virus or virion. It is both virus as well as virion. An infectious virus particle is called a virion. Than the virus itself. So we can say than the virus itself. And is found along the entire length of virus, the entire length of virus in the form of spirally coiled helix inside the axial hole of 4 nanometers diameter. तो जो एक्शियल होल होता है inside the capsid with 4 nanometers in diameter, inside that there is found single stranded RNA in the form of spirally coiled helix along its entire length. And next point you write, there are about 7,300 nucleotides in RNA molecule. And the RNA remains protruded, means on one side this RNA is protruded. About protruded means آسان چھُ اَکہِ side نٮ۪بر درٛومُت. This RNA, it remains hanging about 5 micrometers from one end of virus. Okay, now so this is the description of the structure of TMV. तो इन नटशल अब आप ये याद रखोगे बेटा कि TMV is a plant virus. It stands for tobacco mosaic virus. It is a nucleoprotein particle. It does not possess cellular structure. It has macromolecular organization composed of two macromolecules. One is RNA and another is protein. The protein forms the outer covering of TMV, and that is called capsid. That capsid is composed of small identical units, subunits. Those are called capsomers. The capsomers are closely packed. They form a chain and are helically coiled. And each capsomer, very important, this is एक बार NEET में पूछा गया था. Each capsomer is composed of 16 types of 158 amino acids in the form of a chain, and these capsomers are helically coiled, and in the central they form, this capsid forms an axial hole with 4 nanometers in diameter. Inside that axial hole there is found single stranded RNA, and that single stranded RNA is 11 times longer than the entire length of the virus. So this single stranded RNA is packed inside the capsid in the form of spirally coiled helix, but still some part of this single stranded RNA protrudes on one side of the virus, but that single stranded RNA which protrudes from one end of the virus, that is only 5 micrometers in length, very small part. And you also remember that this RNA found in the TMV is composed of 7,300 nucleotides. And also remember, my dear, very important point, this is the nucleic acid protein ratio in TMV is 5.6 is to 94.4. तो ज़्यादातर पोर्शन, ज़्यादातर मास जो TMV का होता है, that is composed of protein. The capsid forms 94.4% of the total proportion of TMV, whereas the nucleic acid found in TMV, which is single stranded RNA, it forms only 5.6% of the total proportion of TMV. So this is very important topic, my dear students. You will fully prepare this TMV for your examination as well. Okay, so now the next topic, for next topic you will follow the next lecture. Thank you very much.